Welcome to RE Uncut. Our daily shows are powered by CoreLogic and supported by Printforce, Rockend and Realty.com.au.
Mark McLeod explains why structure and measurable components can help you adjust your business to growth regardless of the cycle. Mark McLeod back with Dino in just a moment.
With the evolution of social media, marketing of property is no longer linear. Consumers are influenced differently. The Property Show is unique in that it empowers agents to connect with buyers and sellers through personalised content, social media and artificial intelligence. The Property Show delivers personalised, laser-focused marketing by combining new media, social media and audience targeting, and gives the agent a digital voice. See how well the Property Show works, and then let's get started telling the world about your property. See it now exclusively at Realty.com.au.
Hi everyone, it's Dean. Now, this one with Mark is why structure and processes to measure are so important. It's irrelevant what's happening in the cycle.
Well, I think the first point is that, and I'm going to use in this to answer your question here, Dan. I'm going to use a couple that I work with out of New Zealand. They arguably have one of the best structured businesses that I know. And I'll give you an example of a high structured end business. They're close to, I hate talking about GCI, but they're close to $2 million in GCI. So they actually have a very, very good business. But Amanda and Ben Stevens, their name is, and Amanda prides herself on the fact that I can never ask her a question that she can't answer. So I might ask a question how big's your database and how much has the database grown in the last month? How many listings come out of your database last month? And what percentage of those listings did you get? How many people on your pipeline came to market and how many of those did you get? How many people did we revert from the open homes back into pipeline? How many LAs or listing appointments did you get? So every question is purely about the structure of the business that we built. Now, the reason I ask those questions, because we have some parameters of what is acceptable at each of those critical points in time. Because we run a process, we're able to measure. From that measuring, we're able to measure against a benchmarking profile, and then we can say, oh, hang on a minute, our days on markets are blowing out here. Why is that? And there's a lot of reasons for that, but let's look at that, for example. For me, and so for example, days on markets blowing out by 10, and this is a chat for another time, Dean, will actually drop your turnover by 30%. But you hear people all the time going, oh, it's taken me a bit longer to sell, and that may be the case later in the year, let's hope not. But they don't ask themselves the right question. I guarantee you that if I went out today and asked the majority of the industry questions about their business, they would answer me on the high side. They would give me a number that's actually far better than what it actually really is. Now, I wouldn't bet people on that because I've been doing this for a long time and I've asked those questions a lot of time. So when you work with people who are really structured and they know their numbers, we were able to then go, that doesn't seem right, why? And go and investigate and improve. I'll give you an example. There was a couple of guys I was working with, or a team I was working with, and their listing presentation to listing ratio was only 50%. And they were really good operators. And I said, that's unusually low. And so we started to examine why, and we found out that when they did a listing presentation in their core area, they had about an 85 to 90% conversion rate. When they did a listing presentation outside of their core area, and they weren't the most dominant agent, their conversion rate's low. So we just completely turned our guns back on their core area, brought in more data, increased our listing presentations in our core area, and our business went through the roof. See, knowing the numbers across a process allowed us to look in a different place to improve that business. I say to our leaders all the time, and business owners who I speak to, whether it's inside our network or outside, most decisions made in a real estate business are made on what you think. And I keep saying, people who work with me, let's know the facts. If we have the facts and we know the numbers, we can go to the places to improve. If we don't have the facts and don't have the numbers, then we're tossing coins in the air.
Yep. So those numbers then within the group, as you know, we're talking Ray White, then you have some benchmarks.
Yeah.
Whereas more than half of the agencies out there are independent. So I guess in that sense, they don't know what they don't know.
But that may be the case. But if you know, I might get slammed here. But if you listen to all the real estate coaches in the industry, and there seems to be a bucket load of them. Everyone talks about scripts and dialogues and energy and sitting on the pyramid sucking on lemons. You know what I mean? You don't hear anyone talking about measuring key metrics across the critical points too often. Maybe I don't.
Why is that, Mark? Why is it they don't?
I don't think some of them understand. And in fairness, I've only got to understand. I'm not saying that I understand it, but I'm trying to understand it better because I have access to a very large network that allows me to get some numbers across a whole platform. We run a component here in Ray, what's called Ray White Concierge, which is our call center, which does data work. So we're able to get a lot of data in, and we do 1 in 4 auctions in the country now, which gives us unbelievable amounts of data to make different decisions. So in fairness to the guys out there, and I think some of them are very good, I'm pleased, I didn't mean to be disparaging towards anyone. We just have different information that I'm able to access and different data that I'm able to access that gives me a different platform to look at businesses with.
And that side of it, I guess, is you have a much bigger base to work from that is more accurate than you can feed that back into.
Yeah, we sell like 1 in 8 or 9 homes in the country now. I mean, so our data sets are huge, and we've got, I think one of the advancements for us as a group here is in the last kind of 4 or 5 years, we've really developed our data mining, our data lakes really, really well, and we're getting much better information than we've ever had before, which is allowing us to make quicker and more precise decisions.
Well, another cracker point. Thanks a lot, Mark.
No worries, mate.
The Daily RE Uncut show is powered by CoreLogic and supported by Printforce, Rockend and Realty.com.au. Realty.com.au is where you will see all our shows. Real Estate Talk, The Property Show, Auction Update and of course RE Uncut. We are the home of property.